Welcome everyone to tonight's opportunity call. Real quick, we're gonna get about 5 minutes to really let the lines pack in. Really exciting call tonight. Excited to share my story and what I've kind of been able to do and create over the past year with you guys. So if you could just hang tight for about 3 to 5 more minutes, we're gonna let everyone that is not as timely as you guys hop on the call, and then we'll get this thing kicked off. All right, guys, thank you for waiting. We're going to get this thing kicked off. Real quick, understand the person that invited you on this call, right? They invited you with the intention of showing you a way, right, that you guys can team up and seriously change your situation if that's what you want, right? In a way that for the first time ever in the history of this industry, this space, affiliate marketing, young kids, college kids are able to build a business, right, to a massive scale, long term, right, at such a young age. And it's probably going to be a foreign concept and it might be different, right? We understand that. But what you need to know is that it's proven and that it's working, right? And this industry is out to $170 billion. And it's something that young people are just now catching on to with our ability to network, our ability to use social networking and technology, right, to our advantage to actually produce an income. And I think if you come into this call with an open mind, even if it's not for you, you'll take away some valuable information on where global trends in business are occurring and how you can be a huge part of a trend that thousands of college kids are capitalizing on right now. So with that said, I want to tell you guys my story, kind of, take you through my journey and what this thing has done for me so far, and explain to you, most importantly, what it can do for you. Whether it's a part-time income, whether you're looking at a full-time income, or you're looking just for a way to enjoy some healthy, right, free products from the brand, right? So my name is Brandon Bozarth, right? I've been involved in Vima for about a year. Okay, about a year ago, I was in school and I really had no direction, right? And I feel like everyone on this call, we all want the same thing, right? If you're my age and you can relate to me, what I wanted was to do something with my life where I felt fulfilled, right? I felt purposeful, right? I didn't really want money to be an issue in my life. And what I've noticed through this journey in this past year is money is such an issue in people's lives, right? Almost 60% of marriages nowadays are being broken up because of money issues, right? And I never wanted to struggle financially. The thing was, I was following people that were teaching me, right, a different, narrow-minded way to make money, and I had a small scope. I didn't know there were people out there living lives of abundance. I didn't know there were people out there that their interpretation of making money was considered easy, because I always thought you had to be smart, you had to be a neurosurgeon, you had to win the lottery, you had to do something. And I never thought, right, what I would be doing now is what I would be doing at 22 years old, right? But with that said, I was in college. If you're on the call tonight, you understand that in college, if you don't know really what you want to do, you're probably not the most engaged student. And I tell people that I majored in girls and I minored in parties, because that's really all I did, right? I grew up in Half Moon Bay, California, which is like farm town meets surf town, so breeds some very interesting people. And I remember being about 12 years old and asking my mom, I said, "Mom, what's an entrepreneur?" And she goes, "I think it's when people invent things, but I'm not too sure. So just go to school, get good grades, and get a job." So I never branched out, or I never even kept my eyes open to anything else or any way to make money for myself, right? I didn't really think it was possible. And in doing so, I went to college, and, I was a kid that was, missing direction. And because of that, my grades dropped very quick, right? I had a 1.8 in college, and I needed to make a choice. Do I figure out what I need to do to bring my grades up and focus on some sort of career? But this is the thing. I didn't really want to work for the next 40 years, right? I didn't want to work for somebody else that tells me how much money I'm allowed to make, right, for the rest of my life. And what I started to do is I started to study success. I started studying success principles, right? My friends were studying biology books to get good at biology, which is great. Math books to get good at math, which is great. I was studying books written about success principles, right, that millionaires and multi-billionaires write, right? So unless you've gotten your hands on this sort of material, or if you wrote one of those books, right, if you haven't done either of those things, then the chances are you're not too sure how to go out there and create wealth in abundance, and how to create an abundant lifestyle where you can have a lot of possibilities. That was me. I know from experience, right? And I noticed one thing between successful people. There was a common thread, and that's they worked for themselves, right? They went into the marketplace and they were able to control their value, right? Now, my question upon realizing that was, where do I go as a 22-year-old kid, 1.8 in college, about to be kicked out for bad grades, right? I was working at 24-Hour Fitness and at a private gym, and I was taking 10 units in school, so I had no time, right, to dedicate to anything. Where do I go to build a business? That was the $1 million question. And as soon as I came to that crossroad, my buddy Andy got a wrong number phone call. And believe it or not, over this past year, I was in Guatemala 3 months ago. We got paid to go down there and build houses for people in the villages. The company is really about people helping people. And I've gotten to do a lot of things that people my age just haven't gotten to do. I've gotten to enjoy for the past, 7 months, a certain extent of time freedom where I didn't have to work. And it was all possible through a wrong number phone call, which is pretty crazy. So I think everything happens for a reason. I think you're on this call for a reason. And you might as well have an open mind, right? You're already here, and, keep an open mind. So my buddy Andy gets this call. He's at Chico State, which is a notorious party school. I'm at CSM, which is a community college. And he calls and he picks up his phone, right? Probably drunk, I don't know. But picture someone in your head that is your drinking buddy, and you trust them as far as your friend, but you don't respect them as far as business. Now, this is what Andy was to me, right? And he picks up this call, and the guy on the other end was this guy named Ryan Darrell, who now is one of my good friends and mentors, right? Ryan says, "Andy, let's launch your business today. Aren't you, we're going to meet up and get you involved today, right?" And he goes, "I'm not too sure who you are or what you're talking about," right? And Ryan looks at his phone, realizes it's the wrong Andy, and says, "Well, do you want to learn how to make a lot of money?" Now, Andy was the type of kid that would approach his parents in the arcade and ask for change for the machines and then pocket it. He would really do that, but he was a smart kid. He was like a 4.2, but he was someone that I didn't respect as far as business, right? He was just one of my friends. So when he called me trying to present this business to me the wrong way, understand that we have a system, right? Back then, there was no system, right? Now it's such down to a science that this company is being primarily ran by kids our age, and at the time it wasn't, right? So he calls me up and he goes, "Brandon, I found a way over the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars." Now, hundreds of thousands of dollars to a 22-year-old kid that makes $10 an hour sounds like that's what Jay-Z made, right? I didn't understand how money worked. I didn't understand that that's not a lot of money, right? Unless you think it is. It is a different amount of money that most people are used to, right? If you grew up in an environment of abundance and a lot of money, you would have a different outlook on money. You would have a different scope, right? I had a very small scope, so I didn't believe him. I didn't understand him. And most of all, I didn't think what he was doing was something that would work, right? So what he did, thank God, to kind of pound it through my, closed mind, right, is he drove from Chico to Half Moon Bay. That's a 3.5-hour drive to break down this business, to show me the products, to show me basically how everything works. And what he started to describe to me was this concept of network marketing. Now, if you're on the call, right, or affiliate marketing, as we call it, as we kind of deem this new way of building the industry, affiliate marketing is a $170 billion space. You're on the call, you're skeptical. It's a $170 billion space. That's more than film, that's more than music, and that's more than all professional sports combined. The industry has created thousands of six-figure and thousands and seven-figure earners, and it's actually one of the highest paid professions in the world, right behind pro sports. And for the first time ever, young kids are getting involved and realizing this, that if we can combine our networking skills with our parents' business skills, then we can create a totally different monster in this area, in this space, right? So we started breaking it down. Now, I'm sure everyone on the call is familiar with a graph called supply and demand, right? Very simple. How companies grow, their model of distribution traditionally is they would create a product, and then they would create a demand for that product, right? The way that they would create the demand traditionally over the past 100 years was to pay things like billboards, commercials, and ads, right? Everyone can agree here that that's the main reason, right? Over the past 100 years, that how companies would get their products out there. Now, what's happening, and most people on the call can relate to this, is that form of distribution is becoming obsolete. Right? With social media, social networking, Facebook, our ability to use technology to skip YouTube ads, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, skip, right? While we Snapchat and drive and text and drive, we don't look at billboards anymore. And on TV, we have TiVo or DVR, and we get fast forward commercials. So what's happening on a global scale right now is traditional advertising is starting to be a dying industry, and word of mouth advertising is becoming the dominant force and reason people are going out there and buying products. And all we're doing is catching on to that massive trend. And to give you an idea, by 2020, right, Robert Kiyosaki in The Business of the 21st Century said that 1 in 3 products are going to be sold through this type of industry, face-to-face, word of mouth marketing, right? So we're on to something very, very big. And I feel like if you're in your 20s, you're setting up the foundation of your life. Now's the time, if you're going to grind, if you're going to hustle, if you're going to do anything different than the majority of people, which I understood, the majority of people will struggle financially. I saw my friends graduate with student loans, and the ones that found good jobs, they're sitting at a desk, and it wasn't something I wanted to do. 50, 60, 70, 80 grand a year. I think it's ridiculous to go out there and let someone else cap your income. Right? So I figured, if not this, then what? And if we're looking for people, there are people looking for us. And this is why, right? If we're the best networkers on the planet, right? The most socially connected generation ever, right? And we need a different way to make money because of the economy, because of the cards we've been dealt. You're on the call now, you're probably in school, right? You might have a part-time job. Working for $8, $9, $10 sucks. I've been there. I've had 8 jobs since I was 15. Right? And what we're going to face this year, right, is 12 million graduates and only 4 million new jobs, meaning there's a serious, serious problem with student loans as the #1 debt in America. So what does that mean? That means people like us, young people in our generation, this generation Y, needs a different way to make money, right? So if we're good at networking and we need a different way to make money, why don't we just come out with a product that we already spend money on, that we can relate to and get behind, and then learn how to build this business that's in an industry that has been proven for the last 100 years by adults, where you versus your mom in a networking battle, you would win every single time. Dude, my mom accidentally likes her own Facebook statuses. It's sad, right? So that made perfect sense. Networking a product we all spend money on that pays us to consume it, with the most socially connected generation ever during the greatest recession since the Great Depression. That made perfect sense. And I knew this. If it wasn't me, it was someone else in my college, at my school, dude, at my hometown, with no special skills, that we were born into a generation where networking is easy, right, for us, and they were going to make it happen. They were going to make it happen without me, right? So I understood the concept. My buddy Andy, I was pretty much on board, and he started to explain to me the company and the industry. Guys, the company is Vima. We've been around for 10 years. Our CEO just won the CEO of the Year award, which is a Stevie award, same award that Steve Jobs has won, right? We're the official drink of the Phoenix Suns, our Verve energy drink, right? And we've also been on Dr. Oz a few times, been featured on his show, right? So credibility through the roof, right? And how this company got started was actually just with a liquid multivitamin, a liquid antioxidant supplement that wasn't tailored towards young people. It was going to be a traditional type network marketing company similar to Amway or Avon, right? Which really appealed to the adult generation, right? And we came out with this liquid antioxidant, which in short is the most complete liquid nutritional program on the market. And that was voted by Men's Health magazine. Right, you guys could check that out. What Vima is, and you can kind of see an acronym on this can, right, is vitamins, essential minerals, mangosteen, and aloe. So it's basically everything you need in a day, right? This is actually the iced coffee version. And you look at the products we have now, right, compared to when we start, we have a product in every space. There is room for everybody, right? 7 years into the business, and all adults ran this business. They ran the company, and they actually took this company to about 100 million in sales, about 80 million in sales. Right? And then what happened? BK Barreco, right, our CEO and founder, he got smart. He said, how can I get young people involved? Because I don't want to create a company to compete. I want to create a company to blow it out of the water. And young people need this. They need a different way to make money. And if they learn the skills, can be phenomenal network marketers, right? We're good at networking, network marketers. So we took that little liquid antioxidant, which is a 2-ounce liquid shot, and he started putting it into different delivery systems, right? He made a healthy coffee. He made a healthy iced tea. He made a healthy energy drink. He made a healthy juice. He made a healthy alternative for nearly every age group, but we mainly ran, right, with the coffee, the iced tea, and the energy drink. And as soon as he dropped that product line into the young demographic, the company went boom, right? We went from 80 million to 121 million to 221 million to this year predicted to land around $350 million in sales, which only 10% of companies will ever reach. And what I saw was this: when these companies get big, they get huge, right? Amway does $1 billion a month. Same industry as us. We operate a little differently, but same industry as us. That one company does more than the entire NFL. The NFL last year did $11 billion in sales. One company in our space does more than the NFL. So they get big. The company Amway has produced thousands of millionaires, thousands of 7-figure earners, right? With an older demographic and no Facebook and no technology and no smartphones, right? So I saw this. We're in year 10. We're at 350 million. It's never seen young people, and we will be a multi-billion-dollar company in the next 5 years because of this stage of growth that we're in right now. And if you're on the call, understand that you have a serious chance to make a large income over the next 4, 5, 6 years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it may be. You have a serious chance, right? We can't promise you results, but we can promise you opportunity. And I've never seen something where the stars have aligned like this before. Right? So how it works is very simple. We become consumers of the product. Now, the company, they don't pay billboards, commercials, ads, and you'll never see it in a store because that'll defeat the purpose of word of mouth, right? We get paid to consume the product ourselves and essentially create a friends list of other people consuming the product, right? The company says, we'll supply the product, the compensation plan, the business model. You go out there and you build the network, right? So I got on board, and when I got on board, I got a website, right? It was like a Facebook meets Amazon.com. And how that works was I had a profile picture, I had an online blog, right? And I had an online store. Now, when I started, it wasn't my job to go out there and sell Vima to anyone, right? We're paid consumers. We get paid to consume the drink and refer people to consume the products. And that's what I did, right? My first month in the business, I managed to get about 6 people on board, and I made in my second week a little over $1,000. And to me, that was insane. 21 years old, part-time, I made $1,000 in a week, and I really thought I was like Jay-Z or something, right? But that was really like my first, brick of belief, the first brick on the wall. Now from there, I had my 2 jobs, remember, and I was in school, and I had this little part-time income starting off. Okay, I would add a couple of my buddies on board, right? They were consuming the product. Now Vima doesn't care about who you know, they care about who your friends know. So what I did is I helped get those, my core group, my friends, and I taught them how to do what I did, right? And as they added people to their friends list, my friends list grew as well, right? Now, in about my second month, my income reached about $200 a month. Now, understand this. When I started, I didn't have a huge vision of making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, right? I had a small scope, okay? I didn't think that was possible for me. I thought it was possible for other people, right? But through the business, I understood that it's possible for anyone that believes it's possible for them, right? So when I started off, I saw this as a way that I could work on something part-time just to get out of my jobs. That's it. I was happy if I could make an extra $800 a month with Vima so I could focus on school, right? Month 2, income grew to about $200 a month. That was cool, right? I started being able to fill up my tank more, buy more groceries. It really wasn't, a huge deal, but it definitely changed my lifestyle a little bit. I think anyone here would like an extra $200 a month, right? Month 3, that $200 a month grew to about $500 a month. Now it's almost up to my full-time income, right? And what I was able to do in my 3rd month was quit one of my jobs, right? So I freed up some time, and that's why I really started the business, guys, is because I didn't have a lot of time, and that's what I wanted. And I had to do something different, obviously, in order to get that, right? So by month 4, that $500 a month actually doubled, and a little more and some, and I hit a rank in the company called Diamond, right? So I passed about 90% of people, that got involved before me, and I hit a rank in the company called Diamond where I was making between $800 and $2,000 a month. I was able to quit both of my jobs in my 4th month and actually pick up a company-paid vehicle through the company, right? And I actually picked up a C300 Mercedes, and before I was driving a 1996 Volvo that had no grill, and it had like 180,000 miles, right? And I don't come from a lot of money, so it was a big deal. I have this nice car, and why they do that is because they want you to build the brand, right? They put a Vima sticker on the side, and you go from a walking billboard to a driving billboard, and that really blew up my business. And guys, since then, I turned those 6 people, we together as a team turned those 6 people that I got on board in the beginning into a group of about 350, right? All across the world, in Canada, in the Netherlands, in Florida, Texas, Washington, NorCal, SoCal, Connecticut, Hawaii, Florida, if I said that already, right? All over the world because of networking, because of Facebook, because of what we can do as young people. And guys, I've never looked back. And to give you an idea of the numbers, so this can make sense to you, here's a 4-month plan on what I did to hit that rank of Diamond. Diamond is about 90 people in your group, right? Not you personally, right? But 90 people collectively. So say month 1, you get 3 people on board, right? They want to build the business, or maybe they're just customers, whatever. You get 3 people that are consuming the product, right? From there, you help month 2, those 3 do what you just did. 3 get 3 each. You're at 9 people month 2. Not a lot of success yet, right? Month 3, you help those 9 people find 3 each. You're at 27. Month 4, you do 27, find 3 each. You're close to 90 people in your group. And that's a tangible part-time plan to get you to a diamond level, which most people can get out of their jobs in 4 months. And maybe that's all you want to do. Maybe that's as far as you want to take it, and that's fine. A lot of my organization, that's their purpose. And understand that this industry has been built on part-time. Right? From there, if you're thinking a little bigger, you're hanging out with some people that may have gotten on you on this call, and they're thinking really big, right? At a 6-figure income, that's about 1,000 people in your group. Now, 1,000 people might seem like a lot, but there's 90 million people in our generation, right? 20 million in college right now. You get 1,000 people that already spend money on coffee, Rockstar, Red Bull, Monster, and they're looking for a different way to make money, to consume these drinks, right? And to build the business and to be involved with Vima, and you're making $2,000 a week. Now here's a 3-year plan to where you could tangibly do that, as a college kid. Year 1, let's say you get 10 people on board, right? I've been involved for close to a year, and I've gotten maybe about 15 people on board, so a little ahead of the game, right? Year 2, we help those 10 people do what you did in year 1. 10 people find 10 people each. At the end of year 2, right, on a part-time basis, you're at 100 people in your group, company car level, starting to see some success. Now, year 3, This is when it compounds. This is exponential growth. This is when it gets really exciting. You help those 100 people find 10 each. You're at 1,000 people in your group, $2,000 a week, earning a 6-figure income over the next 3 years part-time that could act as an asset when you build it with integrity and structure, which we can show you how to do, which we are currently doing. And that could pay you for the next 10, 20, 30 years. You do research on the industry. You look at Amway. The number one in Amway didn't get involved until year 22. 22 years into the company. We are in year 10. He got involved in year 22. He's now the number one earner in all of Amway, and he's been paid consistently millions of dollars over the last 30 years, right? So I encourage you to think about the subject, networking, young people, finding a different way to make money, using what we're already good at. Different is better. This is the business of the 21st century, right? Said by Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, right? And this industry, the way we do business, will be the future of business in all business soon enough. Word of mouth, referral, using technology is the future of the way things are being bought and sold. So thank you guys for hopping on the call. I appreciate your time. Went a little long. We just finished an event out here in Northern California. So we're really excited. Got a new team out here that we're launching all over the Bay Area. We're really catching traction, catching fire. So if this is for you guys, get back with the person that got you on the call. They'll shoot you some info. They'll shoot you some links. We'll show you how to get started and how you can be a part of this. Your goals are our goals. Okay, your success is our success. The only way we move is if you move, right? So thanks for hopping on the call, and we'll talk soon.